dolls and gents, I just finished filming a new makeup tutorial for you guys, and this is all about highlighting and contouring. I know that it's very hard to understand what I'm doing and why I do what I do when I'm doing my get ready with me videos, so I definitely wanted to do an updated video on highlighting and contouring. I have an older video, but the quality isn't as good, and I do different technique and use different products now, so I definitely wanted to share them with you guys. So before we get into the video, I wanted to discuss highlighting and contouring a little bit and why I do it. So when you apply foundation, it makes your skin all one shade. But if you look at your skin with no makeup on, it definitely has different hues on it. In the center of the face, it tends to be lighter, and on the outer perimeter of the face, it tends to be a little bit darker. Highlighting and contouring adds those dimensions back into your skin, and it also can slenderize your face, especially if you have a round face like myself. It can make your face look more oval shaped. Another reason why highlighting and contouring is great is because it can change the look of your facial features. If you have a nose that is too big, you can make it smaller, and if your forehead is too small, you can make it appear bigger by adding highlight to your forehead. I think that highlighting and contouring is an important step after applying foundation, whether you're going for a natural or a glammed up look. Depending on what kind of look you're going for, you're going to use different products. Normally, if you're going for a super glammed out, highlighted and contoured face, then you would use both cream and powder products. But if you're just doing something more subtle, you would probably use just powder products. In this tutorial, I will be using both powder and cream products, but you can use whatever you want to highlight and contour your face. This is just my method of how I like to do it, and this is the best method to share with you guys on film because it is very dramatic, so you can pick up the darker and the lighter shades. All the makeup brushes that I'm using in this tutorial are from Sedona Lace. This is their Midnight Lace brush set, and I've been obsessed with this brush set, so I've been using it. I will have a link down below if any of you are interested in checking out these brushes. I know I always get a ton of questions about what brushes I'm using in my makeup tutorials, so I definitely shared each brush that I used during the makeup tutorial so you can follow along and purchase the brush if you would like. So I know my intro was super long, but I definitely wanted to share all that information with you guys. If you want to see how I highlight and contour, definitely stay tuned, guys. So the first step is applying foundation all over the face, and I'm using my Sedona Lace Midnight Lace flat top powder brush along with my Glam Life Perfect Finish foundation in the shade GL6, and I'm applying this all over the skin in a pouncing and swirling motion. This is going to buff the foundation into the skin and make it look flawless. The reason that I apply foundation prior to doing my highlighting and contouring is because I do have discoloration, so I need to even out my skin tone. If you don't have as much discoloration as me, you could possibly skip this step. But I'm gonna go ahead and apply my foundation, and I did apply one layer, but I went back and applied a second layer to the portions of my face that still had a little bit of discoloration peeking through. Next, we're going to highlight features on the face with a concealer that's 2 to 3 shades lighter than your skin tone. I'm going to be using my Pro Beauty Blender along with my LA Girl Pro Concealer in the shade Toffee. I'm applying it underneath my eyes to cancel out the discoloration and highlight that area. Also, the bridge of my nose, my Cupid's bow, right below my chin, and the bridge of my nose. I will also be applying this color right underneath my cheekbone, and that's to make our contour pop. I do not do this a lot, but for this tutorial I wanted to show you all the different ways that you can make different places on your face pop, so that's what we're going to do today. You want to highlight any features on your face that you want to draw more attention to. As you can see, I applied a lot of highlight on my forehead, and that's because I have a small forehead. By applying extra highlight there, I'm making it appear bigger than it actually is. In order to blend the highlight colors seamlessly into my skin, I'm using my beauty blender and also the foundation brush. This is important to go back and forth between the two because it's going to blend it out seamlessly so you don't see those lines of demarcation. We do not want that. I think that blending is the most important step when it comes to highlight and contouring. Take your time with this. As you can see, I'm going back and forth. It is a tedious process, but at the end, it's going to look really great if you took your time blending. Next, we're going to contour features on the face with a cream foundation that is 2 to 3 shades darker than our skin tone. I'm going to be using my Sedona Lace Midnight Lace Angle Top Powder Brush along with my Fashion Fair Fast Finish Foundation Stick in Teak. That is a mouthful. So the main purpose of contouring is to sculpt out your face and to sink in different features on your face. As you can see, I'm doing the sides of my nose, my jawline, underneath my cheekbones, around my forehead, and around my chin. And I'm going in and I'm blending that out with my Sedona Lace Angle Top Foundation brush. And I absolutely love this brush for getting in those cheekbones. It really sculpts them and gets them nice and defined. As you can see, I didn't apply much of the contour color to my forehead, and that's because I have a small forehead. The more contour that I apply there, the smaller my forehead's gonna look. So if you have a larger forehead, do more contour on your forehead. If you want your nose to appear smaller, then do more contour on the sides of your nose. So once I'm done blending out my contour shade, I go back in with the beauty blender that I used for the highlighting shades and I go around it just to make that contour pop a little bit more. Lastly, I'm going to go in with a clean beauty blender and go over the contoured portion again, just to make sure that everything is blended out nice and smooth. Alright, let's set those highlighted areas with a powder 2 to 3 shades lighter than our skin tone before they start to crease. I'm using my Pro Beauty Blender along with my Ben Nye Luxury Setting Powder in clay, and I normally don't use a sponge to set the powder underneath my eyes and the highlighted portions of my face, but I did not have a powder brush beside me, so I went ahead and just used my Beauty Blender, and it works okay. To me, it does make the under eye area crease still a little bit, but it still applies the powder okay. But I would definitely probably recommend more of a powder brush for this step. Next, we're going to apply a powder that is the same color as our skin tone to the non-highlighted portions of the face. I'm using my Sedona Lace Midnight Lace Kabuki brush along with my Midnight Luxury Setting Powder in Nutmeg, and I'm applying this to the areas that we contoured along with the areas on the skin that were not highlighted or contoured to help blend everything nicely together. Now we're going to set contoured areas of the face with bronzer or contour powder, and we're going to avoid the nose area because we're going to use a different powder there. I'm using my Sedona Lace Dome Contour Brush along with my Shea Moisture Illuminating Face Powder in Mandaly Dusk. I have not used this bronzer in forever, and I forgot how much I love it. Now we're going to set our nose contour with a cool tone bronzer or contour powder. I'm using my Sedona Lace Tapered Blending Brush along with my e.l.f. Contouring Blush and Bronzing Powder in Turks and Caicos. And I like using this color on the nose just because it's not as stark as the other bronzer. You definitely want to use a lighter color on the nose so it doesn't look crazy. Now it's time for my most favorite part of this whole tutorial, and that's applying a shimmery highlight to the highest portions of the face. I'm using my Sedona Lace Midnight Lace Round Top Powder Brush along with my MAC Mineralized Skin Finish in Global Glow. Y'all know how I love a highlight. I like that glow on my skin, and this is what really gives it to you. I hope that you all found that video helpful. I really wanted to go step by step on how I highlight and contour as of late, especially when I'm doing a glammed out look. As you can see, my look today is very simple. I'm not wearing any eyeshadow, just wing eyeliner, lashes, but the highlighting and contouring definitely made my fat, chubby, round face look more oval shape, which is why I like to highlight and contour. If you do try out my highlighting and contouring method, definitely let me know how it turns out, and I will catch you all in my next video. Bye.